Hello, man. MicheleMarieDalene. Companies. This time happened to bring the phone with me because I just came back from my hair salon and then I just came here. Because, I want to get some lunch. And, so I got my hair touched up. Obviously, the wind's getting on it a little bit. It's not bad. It's dry right now. It's not raining. It is mostly cloudy. So, I guess that's expected. All right, so let's talk about today's plans. There is no game tonight. Okay, there isn't, because I'm still working on a couple of things. Like the router video, I got the videos clips done now. I just got to put them together. And edit them down to fit. And I've been collaborating, I guess you can use the term, with ChatGPT on a short story. As I said this morning, it created a good foundation for it, but it left a lot of hanging chads that doesn't explain the transpiration of how it all happened. So, after I clean up some of the grammar and incorrect, incomplete stuff, I'm gonna get that done. Now, I will say that I believe that my channel is going to be, like I said in the pet shop example, a lot of YouTubers are like some very excited puppies looking for homes. And then it's always the quiet puppy in the back that no one really notices. Except some people might like the quiet puppy. Okay? YouTube is kind of the same way. If you look at all the YouTube content that's out there, there's a lot of channels. And they're all different. And you got the big guys, you got the news guys, you got the drama guys, you got the big tech guys, you got the big guys that do stupid stuff, guys and gals. Where my channel is kind of like in the cul-de-sac, then in the back of the alley, which not too many know about. There's nothing wrong being itty bitty, like one guy's saying in the country song. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, if anything, the advantage about that being itty bitty is the fact is that you get to know your audience pretty well, and they get to know you. And that's what my channel does. By the way, I don't have my stand with me today, so I've got my purse propping up the phone. But if people would love to see me do more portrait streams, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Portrait streams are not always cracked up to be. I mean, there's a lot of people who would say, and they would be kind of right, that this kind of video could have been a portrait video and it would have been fine since there's really no reason to. Just do a landscape. And that's true. But you know what? I actually do like doing videos in the landscape. Oh, I want to say thank you to Gitchy for the back scrubbing brush. I wanted to at least let you know I did get it. Gitchy gave me this. This is specifically for cleaning your back when you're taking a bath. Because let me just say right now, I had one of these in Willimantic that was in the dorm when I got there, and I used it on my back. And basically, it's good because you can get to the back you can't get at. Okay? So that's what it does. Just a little soap on it, and it's wooden. It's not plastic handle, which I like that. It's bath bristle roast with gentle cleansing, cruelty-free vessels, bamboo handle, forestry steward conservation. Okay. I like this because it's cute. And by the way, I got payments from doing surveys from YouTube as well. I didn't ever talk about those. I didn't expect to get $60 from YouTube, but I did. That's another way to make money is doing surveys. They pay me separately for those than AdSense does. So I get paid that whenever they feel like sending me the money. And they sent me 3 payments of $20. So I was like really excited because it was like perfect. Because now I have $60 that I can use towards paying off my credit card bills. So I can take, for example, let's say I want to pay say Ally. I'll use this example. Well, the problem is, unless I send the money to my checking account, I can't pay Ally with it. But I can pay T-Mobile. But I did. And T-Mobile didn't charge me extra this month, but they will in the next bill. So what I'm going to do is keep my bills paid off as I have, and I do notice yeah, I know we didn't trim the hair up. I didn't even ask you to trim it. But they're going to be moving the salon to the old Morsalunk building in a couple of months, in July. I have no idea what Morsalunk is going to look like when it's done, being renovated in the 3 smaller storefronts. But it should be interesting to see, because there's going to be a nail salon, there's going to be the hair, which is actually technically considered a barbershop, but they want to expand and make it a little more bigger, maybe have a few more additional services. And the third space, they don't know what it's going to be. Tyler thinks it might be possible to use it for a dog groomer. And I said, you know what? A dog groomer? Somehow, says one is hair, one is nails. What about tanning or spray tan? Because that way you can get it all in one operation. You can get the 3 shops that will be in there can all benefit from doing hair, nails, and tanning. That's a dog groomer kind of sounds kind of like out of place. She doesn't think it's going to be a dog groomer, but she's suggesting it. They said to me as well, we could definitely consider expanding because there's going to be more available space in here. Also, for those of you who didn't know, Noodles, this is for you. Taylor is getting engaged. She had been dating her boyfriend for almost 5 years. And so she's not going to be available. Sorry, Noodles, you lost out. But you never really had much of a chance anyway. Also, today, I'm going to be sending Gaming Fairy, Ballad of the Snow Team, and Maka's World. These two books are books I have personally written. They are completely my own work. They will be uploaded to her. But I gotta remember, Gaming Fairy is still already working on the Trip to Silver Moon by Amtrak book. I don't really want her to get buried behind with a million other books. I want to let her finish the first book and think about what the story's about, and then maybe I can give her the second book, the second oldest one, which is Ballad of the Snow Team, Ballad of the Snow Team, or Maka's World, which is the oldest one. This way that she can enjoy the stories. Also, I got a few other stories that used to be a fantasy website called Elfwood, which unfortunately I don't think exists anymore. And so I think I still got the original sources of those. Listen to Logger and the Dryad. Listen to Dryad. Those books, those are short stories that were on Elfwood. I'm going to see if we can try and find those and get them out. So why don't I write much stories anymore? Well, I do. The problem is my eyeballs don't always want to work with me. Some days my eyes can get really hurt really bad. Now, all I know he's saying is, don't you speak to the computer and have the computer write it. Well, yeah, that's an option, I guess. If you ever hear the way I talk sometimes, it can be a bit of a problem because it doesn't always work out exactly as you intended. So, speaking on camera can be problematic. Speaking of computer, when you're coming up with a million stories, me and Lomi tend to talk in kind of a language that sounds like gibberish. When you hear it, when we're talking between us, we're not really talking gibberish. We're actually talking very quickly. Now, speech to text has gotten pretty good, as you hear it on YouTube. But it's not completely perfect. And so you can imagine if I'm giving to text edit using dictation on Mac a story, that the text translation may not look much better than if I typed it. And in fact, typing it might be better and easier because you can add necessary pronunciation marks and symbols that you need to add. If you're depending on the system to figure out where to put periods, commas, apostrophes, quote marks, there's likely not going to be much luck. Okay, it takes a lot of processing. For example, when I say, quote, "Get out of my face," yelling in caps, closing quote, it might go, typing it literally is, quote, "Get out of my face," in caps, closing quote, all these words. When you really meant to say, quote, and you're saying in capitals, which implies yelling, "Get out of my face." You see where the problem stems. So yeah, you really do benefit by the technology, but not always. Sometimes it's not always successful. So today, I am going to finish up my router review discussion. I swear to God, I am finally going to get uploaded today. It's really, let me just say, the little router is really cute for what it is. I will be putting it into implementing it in our system. It's cute, but it's not perfect. Okay, it's got problems, and I just go through them in the video. But basically, so here's the biggest one. The one that can be a real turnoff. It doesn't deal with all the protocols that you would like to have. For example, it doesn't deal with SSH. It doesn't do with Telnet. Input or output in the routing table. It seems that the router table only shows a couple protocols. And instead of just simply saying enter the protocol number that you want to run, it's like it's saying, okay, here's a list of protocols, pick one. Which kind of makes sense, but you got RTMP, you got RTTP, you got RTPS, there are those protocols. They're not there. Okay, so if they would say enter protocol number, which is another option, like FTP, I believe, is 24? Something like that. And send that in PostOffice or POP3, POP2, they'll have different protocol numbers. So if you had the numbers, and I could say, enter protocol number, blah, 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 here. Or if you don't know the number, give you a short list of them, like it already does. And if you don't know that number, you can say, enter this protocol number into the protocol. Okay, so it doesn't deal with all of them, but it can certainly still make it work. Yeah, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. But it's $59 router, which is $90 cheaper than the updated one, which is $149. So in one sense, you get what you pay. Okay, you bought a $49 router. Don't expect to get $150 worth of service out of it. It's just not going to happen. The only reason I didn't buy the $150 router was because the fact was, number one, I didn't have $150 to burn. Number two, I didn't like the fact that the $150 router by default was expecting me to use an iPhone app to manage my system. I mentioned this in the video. I don't like that idea. I don't like that. T-Mobile does the same thing with my home internet. I have to use my phone to manage the router. What do I set? I can't set anything. All I can do is turn on and off ports. Right? So I can keep certain people out. I can add people in. I can kick people off. That's it. I can't do any more advanced than that. Frankly, that sucks. Okay? But that's the nature of it. Okay? Then there's a reason why T-Mobile would want to have it that way. Number one, the fact is, you already got T-Mobile cell phone anyway. So, what the heck's the problem? Nothing. Okay? But, what if you didn't have T-Mobile cell phone? What if you didn't have a tablet? What if you didn't have any of that? Well, T-Mobile is figuring everybody's use Wi-Fi. But if you're using wired connection, sucks to be you, buddy. It's true. Sucks to you. But I do, so I have multiple cell phones, so it doesn't really matter. But it's just an example of what I'm talking about. Cloud, people are right about being hacked and cracked, right? For good reason. And yet, you companies come up with these saying, you got to use this web app to manage our clients. Dishwasher, refrigerator, coffee maker, whatever. Washing machine, dryer. Really? Don't you think it's a little bit much? What happens if you run out of them in the apps? Or worse, if you go through your system's app, it goes to your computer to then remotely come in and send the commands to our devices. What happens if your company decides to cancel the service? Then we can't update our appliances. We can't say, hey, gee, I just got a brand new phone, but it doesn't run the app. And I went to see if you had an updated app, and I find out that the app is gone. So no, I can't change the temperature of my refrigerator, or I can't certain modes of my washing machine or my dishwasher, and I can no longer get my microwave to notify me when my popcorn's done. This is the problem with this Internet of Things. And so when I saw that the older router had the option of using either a web interface or using online app, I said, yeah, I think we'll stick with the web interface because I can log in. It doesn't need a server. Then just log in. Then http://192.168.0.1 enter my administration account name and password. Boom, I'm in. I can set up the settings and get ready to go. The other one, I'm having to go through the app, but the newer one for $150. I just said to myself is, first of all, I don't even know if I'm going to like this thing. If it works for me, great. If it doesn't, well, I'd rather be at $50 than be out $149. You know what I'm saying? So, but it does work, and it works pretty good with the limitations that I mentioned in the video. So, however, there's another nice thing. I got the source code. So, which means that I, with the source code in my hot little paws, can add to that source code if there's enough memory and enough disk space or SSD space. I can add features. For example, I mentioned in the video that it doesn't do NDIS. Well, maybe it can. I just gotta find an NDIS driver that I can add to that's compatible with it to do NDIS. And then I can have my hotspot, plug it into the USB port for port number 3. But you might say, well, Michele, it's kind of stupid in this case because you already got a home internet that's using T-Mobile. So why would you want to have a hotspot using T-Mobile too? Actually, it's a good point. No, you don't need it. So it's not really a big reason. It's just the fact is that I got the source code. I can do that. I can add to it. So if I want to add new features to the device, I could do that. Okay? Because they're using OpenDDWRT. So I can modify it because of that reason. Because it's OpenDDWRT. So I could change it. But anyway, I'm gonna get ready to head home. I gotta go ahead and get ready to play Jimmy's Rant. Number 2, I gotta get working on that router video. Okay, I have to also upload this video, and I want to clean this up a little bit. Okay, because I'm shooting it on my phone. It's just propped up against my handbag, and I don't have the stand, so with me here, so I can't do much with that. But now, at least I can put a header, the intro, outro on it, and maybe remove any kind of things that we don't need to mention in the video, and upload it. And by the way, let me explain something I said this morning. Do we need to stream at 1080p normally for the morning show? The answer is no, we don't. Why? Because what's the see? You're just seeing me at the desk, the fat woman in the chair, that's it. That's all you see. You're not seeing like a lot of motion, a lot of activity like you do in gaming. Gaming, I can see 1080p, no sweat. But seeing a fat woman in the chair is not going to need 1080p. It just doesn't. All right? I don't like to be a data glutton. It's so easy to do it. You know what I'm talking about. No. Oh, wow. I got 33 megabytes per second up. Ooh, wow. I could go ahead and I can stream in 8K. I can stream in 16K. What? Really? No. Okay? Because it's not being fair to the others on the tower. The other towers, people that might want to send their own videos up of the grandkids or whatever. You're taking up the whole doggone tower, streaming a live stream. I'm just talking about everyday stuff that's not needing to do 1080p for that. That's just ridiculous. No, I am going to definitely put my foot down here. There's no reason for a morning show to do 1080p. There just isn't. I really, really feel that it's being inconsiderate for other tower mates. They have to use the same tower I do, and if they're sitting there and feeling I'm being a data glutton and I'm stealing their bets and I'm not giving them a chance to upload, that's just bad, internet, responsibility. I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm not going to do it to my other T-Mobile customers. It's just plain wrong to do that to anyone. I mean, there are videos I do want to stream in 1080p, but look, we went from 640 to 360. There's 1280 by 720, down from 1980 by 1080, 1920 by 1080. Is there really much there? And we're talking about viewers are watching these on a cell phone. Do you really see the 1080p video? Not on a phone, maybe on a tablet, but then again, like I said, most of the time you're watching these shows on the phone, and they're not really going to benefit from seeing it at 1080p. It just doesn't make any sense. So, I think we need to consider not being a data glutton, but rather being a responsible steward of the internet and stream accordingly. They know that no one's going to be sitting there and watching me in 1080p. You're on the phone. Most likely, you're probably watching me, and most cell phones, probably at 720 or 360p. They're not really going to see me at 1080p. That just doesn't benefit. Also, it clogs up my hard drive with dross. and I have to sit there and pick through all that, and it's just not worth it. If I can keep a stable 1080 720p video going, fantastic. I'm happy. And 1080p is great because now I can prove I can do it. Great. But the truth is, I don't think it's going to change nothing. I really don't. Just because you can do 1080p doesn't mean people are magically going to flock in to see the fat woman in the chair. It's just not going to happen. All right? We'd love to have you on the show. We'd love to have you watching the show. We'd love to see you on the show. But really, I have to be responsible too. Because there's only one cell tower, and it covers a lot of T-Mobile customers in my area. And the fact is, I feel it's important to be responsible. Maybe the gaming streams I can get away with it, but I mean, for the morning show, probably not. It's just irresponsible. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go. Talk to you all soon. Do me a favor, stay out of trouble, people, and I'll see you in the morning. Okay, I'm not gonna be going live tonight because I gotta take care of other things, but I'll definitely talk to you later. All right? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys.
In the summer's embrace, she finds her way, twisting and turning, she won't let things sway. With love for the music and fire in her soul, she dances through life, her heart in control.